Hi, my name is Beth Hiley.
My name's Shelly Ganshaw.
And we're here to do a quick tour of some of the other halls here at SPIEL.
This, where we're standing right now, is really exciting, and it would be even more exciting when the fair was open, because you get to see kids all over the place jumping around and having a great time.
So this is the Galleria, which is just a long atrium kind of structure that is between the three larger halls, 1, 2, and 3, and then the three smaller halls, 4, 6, and 7. It's a great place to get food. It's a great place for the kids, and the only time of day that we're able to stand in here without getting completely knocked about is before the hall opens.
And that's why we're here now. So.
But because this is a tour of some of the smaller halls, we are going to head from the Galleria straight into Hall 7 in front of us. Now, I call this a smaller hall, but again, that's still a bit of a misnomer, because there's some pretty awesomely humongous things here, and one of the biggest and our personal favorite is the Hams and Glick booth.
Oh, look where we're coming to. It's so cute.
So obviously Stone Age has been one of their cornerstone titles for a long time, and so they decided in honor of the release of Stone Age Junior that they have this really fantastic mammoth. This has been a real photo op place for most of the show. But we're going to start crane around to the outer corner here of Hall 7.
Yeah, and we're passing some small little companies on the left and on the right as well. Oh, it was SPIEL Offensive. Okay, all right. We've got some great ones. Oh, look at all these. Wow.
So the average booth size here for halls 4, 7, and 6 are more about 10 feet by 20 feet. So these are more smaller affairs. But one of the most hottest areas here in Hall 7 is Japan brand, which we're walking on. On our left, you can see that they all have neon sort of Japanese style jersey. Their outfits are nearly as visually identifiable as ours.
Well, and their booth has grown significantly. It used to be so little, and now look at how much space they have to play. It's awesome. Yeah.
One of the things we love doing is, because we are a cornerstone fixture now of Hall 6, is there's always lots of little gems in these halls, the brilliant little games that you might not have seen otherwise. That was actually, we started playing Coup from Le Mans Games before they got picked up by the U.S. market, and that was really fun. They were just this little tiny booth, and we're like, wow, this is a great game.
And then word of mouth, especially because of the geek and them being put up on the leaderboard. Sometimes those make it up there, and then people hear about them, and they go, and then they get picked up by bigger publishers, which is really exciting.
So sometimes when we have a 10-minute break in the schedule in the booth, we'll just walk around and we'll say, hey, got a moment? Want to come on camera? And it's a great way to highlight some of these new publishers. So we're going to pause for one moment. We're standing in the doorway between Hall 7 and Hall 6. And so we're going to continue on through now Hall 6, which is going to look much the same, but we did want to note that we are heading from one section to the other. Of the smaller groupings, this is the largest of them.
Right, and if you start in Hall 3, you can pretty much just walk straight, and you'll hit a lot of the halls. You just keep going, and then it makes a square, basically. So, oh my goodness, look what we're approaching here. Family.
I don't want to be biased or anything, but I'm just saying the best booth of the convention right here.
Very large booth. Awesome.
But we'll do a tour of our own booth at a different point.
Let's see, where are we going now?
We are heading deep into Hall 6, which is long and skinny.
Yep, and you can see this is, this is the hall that is brand new this year.
Expanded new, yes.
Expanded. So this is, this just shows how big board gaming is getting and continuing to get, because we keep getting bigger and bigger, expanding.
And what you can't see very well from the cruise that we're taking is there actually is a partition across Hall 6, and we're only using half of this space that the hall has to offer, so there's a lot of room to grow over here.
And they're continuing to do lots of construction here. So next year, who knows where BoardGameGeek will be? Who knows where all the companies will be? Because it keeps getting larger.
So we're now pausing in a moment, and we're about to head into Hall 4, and onwards we go. And we're going to do a quick tour of Hall 4. So you can see, again, we're not crisscrossing down up in every row. We're just kind of doing a once through, but it gives you a scale of how much space there is here, even with the little guy.
And obviously people who are into board games and they're into all these other types of activities and things that you see around the hall. We've got puzzle making, 3D puzzle making. There's art, people selling art. It's really incredible. Oh, and of course you need water bottles. I mean, there's everything.
Ceramics, jewelry,
oh, yes.
furniture.
I have to get some jewelry, so yes, that's on my agenda.
Everyone's favorite place, the Crepe and Waffle Hut.
Yeah, I mean, there's food here that you cannot get, well, you eat once a year. Is if you ate it more, well, it might not be very healthy for you. There's the potato on the curly stick. That thing is not good for you, but very delicious.
Now, if we were going to give each hall a personality, I would say Hall 4's personality is being notable for a lot of used game sellers, which we're going to kind of walk through a whole bank of them. And it's a place where you can really get a lot of rare titles. So rare, in fact, that when a couple rare titles hit, word gets around. For example, if you're looking for a copy of Big Boss, we're like, oh, there's a copy of Big Boss in the hallway. And people all go diving after it.
Yes, we've been searching for many games, you know, like, oh, we need this one. And you go to every seller, you say the name, and they say no. You go to the next one and say no.
I've been hunting for one game for about 5 years now.
Yeah.
I haven't found it yet.
But then you're going to get that golden ticket, if you will, and they'll say yes, and they'll just pull it off the shelf, and you're like, oh my gosh, that is so exciting. This year, you still are looking for some used game that you cannot find?
I've been on the hunt for Haba's Haus nach Maus.
Are you kidding? Oh my gosh, we have that game.
Oh, don't tell me that, Shelley. Jeez. Well, we're just leaving Hall 4. And we're now coming back into the gallery where we began, although we're on the opposite end. So that trio of Hall 4, 6, and 7 all linked together on one side of the Galleria. So we've got the smaller halls on one side, and we've got 1, 2, and 3 on the opposite side here. And that this serves as the main corridor between the two halves of the show.
Yeah, and you can see it's about to open up.
And since it's about to open up, that means it's time for us to close up. So thank you for taking this quick tour of SPIEL 2016.
Bye.